You know, everybody is trying to find out what's going on with Odell Beckham Jr. And the one question that people keep asking in the media is Odell a problem?
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. But the Giants already knew that. Shannon, I look at it like this. It would be like you marry an alcoholic, and then you're surprised on the way home they want to stop at the liquor store. It's just that simple.
It's a question that everybody has been asking themselves. What is going on with Odell Beckham Jr.? We know about him throwing temper tantrums on the sidelines. His team got absolutely destroyed by the Philadelphia Eagles, 34-13. I mean, it was a straight slaughter. And we know that Odell Beckham, he headbutted a fan. People were talking about he quit on his team in the first half by going to the locker room. Odell said he went to the locker room early so he can get himself an IV so he can be ready to go out in the second half. The media is trying to say that he's not being truthful about it. I heard some people say that it was a nice, crisp night in New York and it wasn't very humid, so it wasn't no need for an IV. Blah, 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 blah. Let me go ahead and get this disclaimer out of the way. I understand that this is the State of the Saints podcast. I really do. I understand that I'm supposed to focus on New Orleans Saints, Saints news, etc. But Odell Beckham Jr., even though he plays for the New York Football Giants, he's still a native of New Orleans. So due to the fact that he's a native of New Orleans, I feel like we can talk about him right on the State of the Saints podcast. I mean, he probably grew up as a Saints fan. He liked the Saints. I heard him say that once or twice. But let me go ahead and address this. The media, okay? I don't buy into what the media is saying. The media wants you to focus on their product. They want to get their ratings up. They love talking about these big market teams, and they really, really love when these big market teams have friction in the locker room. I mean, I don't buy into that whole media mumbo jumbo. I don't buy into what the media talks about all the time. I mean, think about it. The media wants you to think that the 72,000 yards that Drew Brees threw for, that anybody can do it. I mean, any Blaine Gabbert or Nathan Peterman can throw 72,000 yards, and the record means absolutely nothing. So I don't buy into what the media says, but I do want to say this about Odell Beckham Jr., and I'm not going by what I heard or going by news source. I'm only going by what I see from the guy. And this is my opinion. I believe that Odell Beckham Jr. cares more about his brand, more so than winning football games. Now, if you think about it, I'm talking about go back to Odell Beckham's rookie year. Odell Beckham Jr., how did he become famous? On Sunday Night Football, in a game versus the Dallas Cowboys, he caught a pass one-handed over Brandon Carr. And what did the announcer say? That's the greatest catch I ever seen. That's what Chris Collinsworth said. He said that was the best catch he ever seen. I mean, the catch went viral. People were going crazy. And keep in mind that the New York Football Giants did not win that football game. They lost. But in the middle of a loss, people were talking about Odell Beckham Jr. And that moment on, Odell Beckham Jr. realized that it's not about winning. All he has to do is put on a show. You look at Odell Beckham Jr. during pregame. He has this little ritual when he catches one-handed passes, and people show up to the pregame just to see him warm up. And he's making one-handed catches, and he catching passes behind his back, and he's spinning around with pirouette, trying to put on a show for the fans. He wants to be larger than life. He wants the endorsement deals. He wants to continue to rub elbows with Drake and Lil Wayne and LeBron James. That is what he wants. I really don't believe that Odell Beckham Jr. cares about winning. I really don't. I don't think that winning means everything to him. You know, just me thinking about this, I'm wondering to myself, are we living in the world of the big loser? Like, just think about that now. Are we living in the world of the big loser? Because it seems to me that winning does not even matter anymore. You are not measured by wins anymore. If you think about it. Because if you look at somebody like LeBron James, right? LeBron James, we're being told that LeBron James is the best player that ever lived. But LeBron James, if you look at him, he doesn't win championships. He goes, but he loses more than he wins. But yet, we are being told that he's the best player on the planet. You look at somebody like Antonio Brown. Guy never been to the Super Bowl. Never won a Super Bowl with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But we're being told that he is the greatest wide receiver in the world right now. Odell Beckham Jr. realizes this. He realizes that he doesn't have to go out here and go to Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl in order to validate himself as being the best. All he has to do is take up the media coverage. But he's doing it the wrong way. And I think that this is something that we need to pay attention to. We spend most of our times paying attention to individuals that aren't even worth us paying attention to. The media loves to tell us about individuals like Odell Beckham Jr. But when you break it down, are they really worth our time? This guy's throwing temper tantrum on the sideline because he wants the ball so it can create buzz for his brand. And if he's not getting the ball, he realizes that if he throws a temper tantrum on the sidelines, he'll still get some attention because any publicity is good publicity. Odell Beckham Jr., is he spoiled? Maybe. I mean, if we think about it, I mean, no disrespect to anybody, but I mean, he did go to Newman High School. I mean, Newman High School, it really is for the creme de la creme and the elitists of Louisiana. I mean, think about this. Drew Brees' sons go to Newman High School. Peyton Manning, Cooper Manning, Eli Manning, all of these people went to Newman High School. So you just can't be in a Joe Blow off the street going to a school like this. Maybe, I'm just throwing a theory out there, maybe Odell has been sheltered his entire life, been spoiled his whole entire life. So he feels like this is his way of getting the attention. Or I can say this, he's used to being the best of the best and getting what he wants at all times. So if he's faced with adversity, maybe he doesn't know how to handle it. Think about all of those players that came through the league like Vince Young and Dez Bryant and all these other players that came into the league was the best at what they did, best in high school, best in college, got to the NFL, and they had to learn how to fall in line. And you look at somebody like Vince Young, he didn't last long. And now we're looking at the demise of Dez Bryant. He's yet to find a team. Maybe this is what's going on with Odell Beckham Jr. Maybe he feels like pouting is his only way of getting some level of attention or getting the attention he feels like he deserves. But whatever's going on with Odell Beckham Jr., I hope he gets it together because he is an extraordinary athlete. He has great ability. And I feel like if he just tapers it down just a tad bit and get out of his own way, he can be one of the greatest that ever did it. But as long as he believing in his whole Odell Beckham Jr. one-hand catch hype, I mean, think about it, dude. You broke your leg last year. The year before that, you had a solid season. But you really haven't done anything, man. You really haven't done anything to solidify yourself as being great, except catch this one-handed catch. How many Super Bowls have you been to? You only been on one playoff game since you've been to the league, and you lost that one to the Green Bay Packers. Man, you got to wise up, dude, because you're going to be going down a path you don't want to go down. I mean, you look at people like Chad Ochocinco, Terrell Owens, Dez Bryant. Man, these guys had a lot more to offer the NFL, but people got tired of dealing with them. And eventually, Odell, if your production falls and you just talking like this, people ain't going to want to deal with you no more, man. So get it together. What's really going on with Odell Beckham Jr.? I think it's his brain. But what do I know? I'm just a Saints fan. Who that?